having a fantastic day, and welcome to Le Dernier Don, a French horror game. I know, right? It's French. And now I know what some of you might be thinking. I know some of you might be like Neco. That sounds very, very stereotypical of you. I am part French. I'm going to make fun of the French, jokingly and mildly, ironic, as much as I want. I'm part English, part French, part Scottish, and all that other shit. But either way, that's besides the point. Funniness aside, a French indie horror, well, I guess I could call it indie horror game. Following the tragic event in an orphanage caused by horrific human experiments, an orphan tries to find other survivors while danger still lurks. Now, if you want to increase the dry humor, we're playing a French orphan. And that's all as far as I'm gonna go now in terms of being French. And we're just gonna probably stop trying to do that because it can only go so far. But either way, you play as Lucie, a young orphan at the end of the First World War in France. After disobeying the mistress at the orphanage she resides in, she gets thrown into the broom closet to spend the night, while the rest of the children celebrate the end of the war. Nothing like celebrating the end of the war by shoving a little girl in a broom closet. I know the feeling. I love that. I love feeling neglect and abuse. As she breaks out from isolation, discover what sinister secrets are being held in this scary and stressful environment. You'll be navigating through the orphanage looking for answers in this narrative horror experience. The game was realized as part of a bachelor's degree graduation project at the School of Digital Arts and Animation and Design. So I'll be judging it because it's a school project. So let's go with that. We'll check it out. We'll see what it's about. Hopefully it has good immersion and good environmental storytelling.
Yes.
I don't speak French though, even though I'm Canadian. Okay, with coffee being slurped, hopefully the game is optimized. I think this is Unreal Engine. Yeah. Wait! Oh, so we're like Harry Potter. And it reminds me of Visage. Visage? Visage or Vanish? Not sure. I always mix those two up. Anyway, I want to get a better look at this room. Let's see. She has half-eaten bread, and it's not even white bread, mind you. She has stew, and the stew contains dipped bread, probably beef broth, potatoes, carrots. Very nice. She has tea or coffee. Okay. She has waxy candles. She has a journal. The cleaning bucket, of course. Utility ladder. Okay, cool. Can we leave? We're just going to look at our family hungrily celebrating World War I. Well, what the fuck is wrong with these French children? She's trying to get in here? I know some people talk about having a third eye and all, but if you start having a fourth eye... Can we hold the... Oh. Okay. If you start getting a third eye and a fourth eye, and that's literal instead of, like, metaphysical, instead of surrealistic, instead of spiritually... then I think there's something wrong with you. Pick up. It's an ugly doll. Press escape to return? Oh, that's a little weird, but okay. I want a flashlight. On the fate. I would be the worst to try to pronounce French, frankly. Jesus. Little bunny! No! It's missing an eye. Can I keep it? No, little bunny. He tried to walk proudly and he fell. That's upsetting. Oh, it's a drape. Alright, I have to sneak by sleepy old granny. She's gonna, like, jump scare me like it's Outlast, isn't she?
So Madeline.
Sister Madeline, or Madeline. Ooh. Is she maybe dead? Like, the fact that, too, our room is at the very end of this bunk bed. Also. Ah, I can't like push it with my physical body. It's just blowing in the wind. Cool effects, but we can't physically mess with the drapes. How are things over there? Oh dear Dad, how are things over there? From Lewis. I hope you're doing well at the orphanage. The days are sometimes a bit sad. Sister Madeleine has been looking worried lately, and that makes us all a little worried. At school, I have as much fun as I can with my friends, but I often think of you, and I'd rather like you to come back soon. Take good care of yourself, okay? I look forward to seeing you, Lewis. Man, my family had a fucking lamp that looked very similar to that on top of our piano. Just it wasn't as snail shaped. What do you? Stop being weird, Granny. Who rocks their wheelchair around the corners? It's like she has she loves scaring children, apparently. How many days have passed? I mean, I'll assume it's all in their head, but... like, I'll assume it's... Dragonfly. Ooh. I mean, these window effects are kind of cool. Normally, you don't see... You know what? That's the one thing I could bring up. Isn't it strange how... in horror games, there's moody lighting that comes out of windows. There's rainstorms and rain droplets that hit windows, but like the stereotype in horror movies where you have like tree branches like sort of scratch and bang at the windows, we never really do have horror games replicate that, right? It's like an old stereotype. Like you're in a haunted house and you're trying to sleep and then suddenly you hear a tap 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 at your window. Oh, it's just a tree. I've never seen a horror game, at least. I mean, it's not doing the tap, 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 but a horror game that shows windows in the night and tree branches and shrubbery outside like this, environmentally, let's say, speaking, it's just like a visual thing, but maybe you guys know what I'm talking about, imagery-wise. But of course, the dead body strewn up there, which I've been ignoring and focus. It's like, wow, look guys, look at this window, right? Look, this window, it's impressive. I didn't even realize there's fucking dead bodies strewn up. Hello, sorry for ignoring you. Man, that's... organs, the intestines just literally drip. This is more gory than most average AAA horror games. I don't usually see the organs this dangled out. Usually it's kind of censored. Usually it's not strewn about this detailed wise. I gotta give them credit's due. A French man's head. Kind of ruins the soup. I don't think French people would taste good. Ooh. I mean, goddamn. By the blood splatter, you'd almost think that they Kurt Cobain themselves. Maybe. I mean, they are keys. Keys do unlock doors, and I do want to be the master of unlocking. I hope to see my family again after the war. Wait, what? Something with the heart on it. I'll assume it's just her family, or that's her mom and dad, and that's her as a baby or something. They were on Mr. Chokroot's legs? They're... Wait. Are you telling me you can identify this body? Oh, those guts look so familiar! Mr. Croquette, is that you? I can tell from the pants and the shoes. I mean, yeah, we're moving on. I feel like I'm in a very jokey mood. Hopefully it translates well in the videos. Hopefully it's not annoying. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of high energy and I'll just want to try to be funny. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Let's just keep going. But I mean, frankly, no, I like the environment so far. Granny! How many times... Okay, maybe if I keep seeing Granny... Because they told me to zoom in and watch her vanish. But that was purely optional. But I was about to say, no, I like the environmental, let's say storytelling. Like, let's say theory crafting wise, I'm going to imagine the girl is an abused Harry Potter kind of girl. And to cope with the abuse she's having, she is in her head imagining horrible things happening to those around her because, you know, anger and abuse. And something like that kind of perspective. Like, she's hoping morbidly deep in her psyche and her unconscious mind that everyone just gets ripped apart for the abuse. And this is just all in her head, but this isn't all real. At least that's my theory right now. But then, I was about to say, just like, this kind of blood splattering is not something I'd see normally in horror games. The way they animate or splattered this wall is interesting. I won't focus on it any longer. I just find it interesting. I'm so used to like amateur indie horror devs where they'll make an Unreal Engine house, or am I really at the orphanage? Or they'll make a Unity Engine house, you know, I'll critique it and be like, this house is very boxy and very lacking of detail. This is full of detail. But sometimes too much detail can make it just seem like you're just cluttering a mess around, right? But this... Hello, little big-headed, small-armed child. But this, I mean, it just feels like a dilapidated orphanage. So... I don't know what that is, but it's got a big... keister. You don't have any je m'appelle? Ah, mon Dieu. I don't... Ooh, let me check this dead guy. Wait, is anyone there? Just this guy. This guy's hanging out. I hope you're doing well, despite the dark days we are going through. Wars raging around us, each day bringing its own share of suffering and loss. But despite it all, I persevere, driven by the hope of a better future for each and every one of us. My thoughts turn to you every day, looking forward to the day when we can finally meet again. Take good care of yourself and the children who depend on your compassion and devotion. With all my love, Pierre. I don't know his last... I don't know about that last name. Lefevre? I'm like, again, I will unironically not be able to pronounce French really well at all. Wait, did we take it out of his mouth and put it on the table? That's mildly respectful. How the fuck did you get punctured by a fucking railing though, dude? Like, no, seriously. And have literally the front of his face torn off. Interesting. Like he got scalped, but he's able to keep his scalp. Mm-hmm. So a morbid way of dying of being potentially thrown and punctured by a railing by some assailant thrusting him against it, but also ripping his face off. Very cool and morbid. Little puppy dog sad about this leg, or the puppy is eating the leg. Is that a cluster of brains? Juicy organs, okay. Every time I'm like focusing on like an environmental detail, I notice there's some really fucking weird thing that I'm ignoring. Like there's like I'm me paying attention to windows, and there's a dead body just hung up with intestines roped down. And I'm just like not looking at that yet. I'm just like, oh, look at this. Look at this. But And I like this detail too. You look down a hallway and this weird fucking bust is there that looks very unnatural. The entrance is blocked. Is there any survivors? And this guy took a fucking hammer to the eye socket. That's nasty. His face is a little weird. A little clayish, but... That guy does not look like he belongs in World War I, though. Why does this dude just look like... What's that fucker's name from goddamn Pineapple Express? Why does he look like Seth Rogen's brother a little bit or something like that? Weird. Okay, What? Amputee? I looked at the red-haired girl, I was like, hey, red-haired girls, hell yeah. What are you about? Wait, is that a... Oh. I was supposed to say it looked weird and unnatural for a bust, and I knew it was a bust on a table, but it looked weird at a distance, and now I know why, because facial hair. Monster. This is the guy's face that got ripped off. Now I like what the guys made this game. I like the storytelling. I like this. I'm gonna gush a bit. So I hope people don't mind the times I stop and talk about my perspective, and I hope people like watch my videos appreciating that rather than be like, Neco, come on, shut the fuck up, keep playing the game. Now, let me explain things, because I want, like, keep in mind, developers also can watch my videos, not just people who don't play these games or don't make games, right? So I want to be like, hey, I came down this hallway and I saw this. Like, let's imagine it from a developer's perspective and what other developers could learn, because I have, you know, props to give. You walk down the stairs, you first see this thing, and, well, I mean, you first see this guy, you inspect that. You go down, you got another thing to distract yourself. You see a dog and a leg and a pool of blood dragged that way. Environmental storytelling. If you go here to check up closer, to the right, you see this weird thing. And if you ignore it, you're like, oh, okay. And then you go down this way, you're like, oh, okay. You see a dead body. There's something else to distract you, or something else for you to see. And then you see a guy that's dead with a hammer in his head. You look this way. There's a weird fucking bust looking at you down a creepy hallway with a window illuminating light and God rays at the bust, almost like inviting you to come closer. There's so many things happening in this one fucking room. You have to understand it from my perspective. I play these games and I look through things through these lenses of like critiquing or feedback or like analyzing these environmental cues and trying to see, hey, do I like it? How do I grade it? Am I personally enjoying it? Would others enjoy it? I am always thinking of these things, and that's why when I see something that is competent, I fucking gush about it. Like, you can see my expression. I get ecstatic. You don't need to fucking pay me to get ecstatic. I love seeing competent, well thought out designs. And this is from a college or a student graduation thing. Normally, I'll be frank without trying to be insulting to too many people, but normally when it's a college-based game or students that are still mastering, like they're not hired by a giant studio, they don't have too much experience, I don't expect too much from them in terms of expertise and experience and knowledge of the ins and outs and nuances of every genre that they might want to get into after school. But I am impressed by this. Because, again, it's like there's something in every direction. Let's compare it to even Starfield. You play Starfield, different genre, yes, but Starfield, you can walk 1,000 miles on a goddamn planet and you don't see shit happening. You'll go from point A to point B in some boring empty planet just to get from point A to point B to get to some stupid little planet's little hub to talk to some boring looking, ugly, randomized NPC. Compare it to this. I went down the stairs and like 4 or 5 different things happened, and all of them build on atmosphere. That's good game design. Fuck AAA companies who can't even do this fucking room in terms of detail. I don't even know what's royalty free or not to bitch about. I like where this is going, and I was going to just play this as a whole. Hey, you know what's an indie horror? It's a 3D game. I'm curious. I was just gonna hop onto it thinking, I mean, what to expect? Maybe a stereotypical first-person horror game. Nah, man, I'm excited now. I want to see more. A face-ripping monster, a girl that could be all fucking PTSD'd and traumatized, and weird guts. Maybe I missed it. Here's a bust again, but without the face. 1918, October 23rd. Hey, my birthday. Things are getting weirder and weirder at the orphanage. Many of my friends have gone to get treatments, and we are very few now. It's so quiet here, and it scares me a little bit. Sister Madeleine looks very bad these days. She's pale and tired. She says it's nothing, but I see she's in pain. I hope she gets better soon. She's our only protection here. Last night I had to take strange medication. It made me sleepy, and I started having strange dreams. Shadows are dancing around me, and I felt like something was looking at me in the dark. It was terrifying. I don't know what's going on here, journal, but I feel something very dark is happening. I hope this will all end soon. See you tomorrow, journal. Okay. Well, moving on, though. I am done with my rant, and I am sufficiently pleased with my rant. Infirmary and... I don't know what that would be translated. I can tell that's infirmary, so, I mean, you know, hospital or whatnot. Sand bucket for fires, I assume. Those would be filled with sand, not water, right? I think. Little doll, but I wanted the bunny doll. I don't think it would have a squeak toy in it, but I can appreciate it, I guess. Oh, hello. What? What is that thing? And also, was it where was that monster's mouth coming out of? Was it just a chest mouth? I'm hoping it wasn't something else. It does look like an infirmary, yep. So we got a doll. Where would I be delivering the doll? Because I can't open this door, right? What? Wait. Strange picture. Oh, okay, we just had to go really close to the door for the prompt to show up, okay. Kids drawing on the walls. What? Bones of what now? I need I really want a light source. Someone get slammed behind a cupboard? Wait, but am I meant to be taking that? Is that one of 2307 NM? Wonder if that's significant. Maybe. A doctorate in medicine. Ah, a secret door. Dr. Renault? Hopefully that's royalty free. Just in case, I'll like talk over it just in case, but we'll never know, man. In 1897? Question mark? I mean, if we find a vault or something that has a code combination. Seem the doctor like collecting bugs. Ah, okay. But I mean, we have 2 combos though, maybe even more. These tests have been selected as they are the best adapted for home use. Johnson's test for grape sugar, fermentation test for grape. This is like purely English. Oh, test for urinary colors. Hey, wait. Normal concentrated hematuria, bloody urine, severe inflammation. Interesting. A blown up page of urine samples, apparently. Wait. Journal. Wait. What was it in 1897? 1897. But can I do it again because I want to do the... No? Shit. I wanted to do the combination that was here, if possible, but... like 2307. Could I not have done that? 2307? I'm guessing not. I would have been curious if it would do something else, but since it's already green and I can't touch it, well, we'll just move on. Hello. Oh, you can go. Doesn't belong to anyone. I'll assume also that Mrs. Madeleine, the caretaker, I'll just call him a caretaker, I don't know their exact job. Ooh. The caretaker, maybe they're creepy. Really giving the vibes like it would just fucking start just collapsing all of a sudden. But I like that. Normally it's just like, nothing happened, but I mean, it's like the elevator stops and normally the audio effects for elevators in horror games stop unless it's going to crash, but that was just like struggling and the engine's struggling and churning. I'm just like, you okay, buddy? Are you going to crash? No, you're just old. Okay. Ugh. Disgusting. I mean, it's also one of the... Ooh. Old-fashioned autopsy kind of room. Cool. I'm glad I was never born in this period where it was normal in biology classes and other things to like cut open pigs and frogs and stuff like that, because I knew as a kid, thinking about that when I was younger, it was something that I was just like, oh no, I don't want to cut open animals. That's too gross to me. I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. And back in school in those periods, if you would have been like, no, I don't want to cut open the pig, I don't want to cut open the frog, you'd kind of like, unless someone who's super old wants to tell me otherwise, I swear you'd get like reduction of points, because it's like you refuse the assignment that is to cut open an autopsy. Ooh, hello. See you. You'd like get points reduced for not doing what you're told, kind of thing. I mean, I wouldn't want to cut open a frog. That would make me sad. What kind of toilet is that, by the way? Oh. Dear Dr. Renault, the experiments carried out at the orphanage, although controversial, like double, it's doubly controversial, have brought undeniable advances in the treatment of war amputees, and for that we are deeply grateful to you. Oh. You seem to be a little bit of a mad scientist, but thank you for the amputee progress. I'm still going to assume this is all in the child's mind. Like, this would be a representation of the child thinking, they're mean to me, what happens to kids that they lock up to? Do they become science experiments? Either that or the orphanage just really is fucked up. Who knows? We'll find out as we keep playing the game. I'm mildly immersed.
No.
Ach, no. I mean, my sounded more German, but... Are you okay? Do you need water? Oh, you got a note.
Avec la fin de la guerre, nous mettons fin à l'obligation d'opérer les cobayes.
With the end...
dorénavant libre de disposer des expériences.
I'll just try to read over this and lower the volume. With the end of the war, we are putting an end to the obligation to operate on your guinea pigs. You are now free to dispose of your experiments as you see fit. Nevertheless, we ask you to completely take subjects, such as Albert, out of the picture. The confidentiality of this information is...
Armée française.
Okay, you can read the rest. Oh. Well, that's a mildly creepy face. Oh. Interesting design. Like Okay, well, I mean, at least you didn't stab and impale my arm, but, Huh. Oh, the weird child. The creature is one of the... Actually... The creature giving me two or three vibes. One is... It's clearly a transformed child, or a child that has autopsied, or been autopsied. Whether it's all in our head or not, let's just say that's irrelevant for now. Wait, that's the end of it! Or is that... Oh, it just ends there? Oh shit, really? Oh shit, man, I was expecting it'd be like, maybe even in an hour of an experience. Shit, it just ended there. Damn. I was about to say, the creature, the face reminds me of the flying skull enemies from Doom 3. I'll put a picture so you guys know the reference. Wait, are those the guys that were working on it and they were modeled after some of the characters in the game? Like the one guy with the hammer is actually a dude that exists in the real world? Dude, you have a giga jawline. That's coming from me, and I have a decent chiseled jawline, but you got a caveman jawline, and I say that with... Well, like, not insultingly. That dude in the picture, was that really your jawline? I'm like, holy shit. Could join the UFC and beat people up. No, seriously. You got a caveman jaw. No, you don't even... You have the opposite of a glass jaw. You have a fucking titanium jaw. You have a jaw Wolverine wishes he had. If that truly is, in that one photo, if that is the class and the people that worked on this game, the dude with the big jaw, Jesus Christ, I'd be afraid to fight you. I'd probably think I'd be like, okay, put him up. Boom! I punch you in the jaw and you just and you just stare me down like the Russian from The Punisher. But anyways, with the jokes aside, no, really good game. I don't usually expect too much from Unreal Engine horror games or indie Unreal horror games. We'll get good shit from people like Kojima making PT, and some occasional good shit mixed in. But usually what uses the mascot horror for horror games, it's just mascot horrors now. Not to shut on all of them, but you guys know what I mean, right? So it's like, every time I play an Unreal Engine, the chances it's a fucking mascot horror, like Garten of Banban, or any other, or Garten of Banban clones, a lot of them run on Unreal Engine, but this is more like Amnesia and other type things. But no, the final creature gave me Demon Souls, the dragon with a double teeth or double mouth, which may as well be inspired potentially from Xenomorphs, and the skull again from Doom 3, because those enemies in Doom 3 had more like a human face. I'm not gonna, let me compare with let me see, what are they called? Doom skull enemy. What the Eternal Skulls? The Lost Soul, that's it. Lost Souls in Doom 2. People know they're like floating demon skulls, but in Doom 3, for those that remember, I'll post a picture, the Lost Souls in Doom 3, oh, and the fucking spiders, had more of like a human-esque face with sharp teeth, like human, like not human, but like sharp teeth. I'll put a fucking picture. But that's what that weird child creature reminded me of, is that Doom 3 Lost Souls, but with a big creature body and a protruding, I don't know, like fleshy snout, so to speak, like kind of like a scaly or dragon of sorts. And or the best word to call it, I guess, in the most literal or by definition, would be a chimera. But either way, I like the game. I wasn't expecting it, and the checkpoints here also gave me the impression it would be much longer, because it's like, wow, what are these checkpoints? There's a lot of shit to go through, and that was 30 minutes in checkpoints. There's a lot of checkpoints, but no, I don't know. I've gushed enough. I've rambled enough. It's 35 minutes I've been playing. I liked it. I liked where it's going. I kind of wish there was more, or if anything else, if the developers, the people that made this game, there's promise in here. Like, I'm being genuine here. Environmental storytelling and being able to build a environment or world that is believable takes skill. not everyone can become like Toby Fox and make their own game, make their own music, make their own story, all that shit. So it's like all you guys that worked on the environment, good shit. The creature design was awesome. Usually it's just like if a creature is that visible or that in your face, usually it becomes okay, I see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's not scary. I mean, it wasn't scary, but it had interesting details enough that I'm sure even if it showed up later on, if it did weird, grotesque shit, like tearing off people's faces in front of you, hey, I'm sure it could be kind of creepy. It has like a child's face on it, and it's clearly a child, but it's also a vicious monster. Interesting take. And also weird, ugly-ass four-eyed child, but I'm sure I should sympathize with the victim, but, you know, it's storytelling, but either way. Rambling all aside, good shit. I'd be curious to see what other games, I guess, these graduate students could make. I'd be curious. We'll have to find out, but otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts down below if you agree or disagree. Your thoughts again, but if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber, hit the notification down below for updates on my videos. Thank you for watching, and until the next time.